Japan may be joining the ranks of its European counterparts in support of the so-called Tobin Tax. If you haven't heard of it, it's a tax on financial transactions. And as we do every day, we partner now with the Financial Times to bring you Lex on Bloomberg so you can get a sneak peek at the FT's flagship column a day early. Ben McLannahan is joining us live from Hong Kong. Ben, the Tobin tax first came up in Britain. It was kind of swatted down there. It's been dismissed by many here in the United States, but gaining currency in Japan. Tell us why.
That's right. Many internationally still see the Tobin tax as a barbaric relic of the 70s, like Demis Roussos or Baked Alaska. It was first devised by the US economist James Tobin as a means to take some of the heat, the speculative heat, out of foreign exchange trading, which was going haywire after Bretton Woods was scrapped. And since then, it's come in and out of fashion, but mostly the consensus among free market liberals in the West and also in the East is that this is a bad idea and that the capital flow shouldn't be controlled. But since last year, when Lord Turner in the UK started to get the debate going, there's been some voices of approval in France, in Australia, and now in Japan. We've had the Vice Finance Minister, Naoki Minezaki, on his website expressing approval.
So what is it about that the Japanese like about the way a Tobin tax would work, this whole idea that it could limit volatility?
That's right. Yeah, I think the Japanese are coming from a more social point of view, talking about the devastation that unlicensed and unfettered trading can do to an economy. But it's curious in many ways that Japan should be thinking about this right now, just when inflows are pepping up indices. So far, the Topix has done about 3% this year, which was as good as it did through the entirety of last year. So yeah, this is just another voice joining this growing chorus.
Ben, very briefly, do we have any evidence of where things like the Tobin tax have worked previously?
In Brazil last year, in October, there was a very good Tobin-esque tax. There was a 2% charge on incoming flows into equities and bonds, and that seems to do the trick. The Brazilian currency was too strong at the time. The idea was to take some of the heat out of it, and since then there's been a steady depreciation against the dollar, and equities haven't been damaged too much, neither have bonds. And currency volatility, which is the key metric, that's crept down slightly. So used judiciously, these things aren't necessarily all bad news.
All right, that's Ben McLannahan from the FT's Lex desk over in Hong Kong on the latest supporter for a financial transactions tax.